Alright, welcome back to the Super Coach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to do a review of game week 3. So normally wouldn't do a dedicated review video, but we do have the first international break. So just wanted to get on and sort of discuss, some tactics and ideas around that for those that are fairly new to the idea. But also because I've gone in and actually made some transfers already. So game week 3 first, obviously. Did I say game week 3 review before? Game week 2. I know it's game week 3. You get the idea. Scored 81 points, which was a slight improvement on game week rank from last week, and an improvement overall. So back inside the top half mil, so the top 5% overall, which is a nice place to be after 3 rounds. So if we have a look at the team, our defense. Sissels with 2 points, conceding a goal. So that will happen. We just cop that. Guardiola again, not getting a clean sheet. So other than his first game, hasn't really produced much for us. And with the upcoming fixtures sort of turning bad, might be one that people would be tempted to move on. Alexander-Arnold with his 3rd clean sheet, unfortunately disallowed goal, which would have been massive for FPL, but it is what it is. And Robinson with the 4-pointer, so what's that, an assist and then take off, yellow card and a goal conceded. So I guess getting an attacking return for the 2nd week in a row. Robinson has proved to be a pretty handy selection for our teams. In the midfield, so Eze finally getting an attacking return with a goal, 3 bonus points to go with. So that was a nice little unexpected one against Chelsea. Saka getting an assist, I think it was, and a bonus point. So against Brighton, but the fixtures do get a little bit uglier over the next couple of weeks. Mo Salah as captain does the job again. I think it was a goal and 2 assists from memory. Yep, so it was involved in all 3 goals, so 3 bonus points. You love to see it, particularly given the one that we don't have also scoring 17 points this week. But we'll touch on him in just a minute. Son, another blank, got a bonus point which sort of helped, but no attacking returns against Newcastle. Diogo Jota, I guess, was unlucky given they scored 3 goals and it was basically the wingers, Salah and Diaz, running the show there. But that's okay. Isak with a 9-pointer, so getting a goal, a couple of bonus points, 3 bonus points to be exact. So great to see him finally get on the score sheet this season. And Muniz blanking again, so 3 games, 0 returns. On the bench, we've now lost another one. So Jefferson has gone to Watford. So I think, again, because Watford's not in this league, his price is locked. So we're not stressed about losing value there. Mosquera getting 2 points. Only 1 goal conceded this week, which is a lot better than 6. But again, you can see he's still only 1% owned. So we're not too stressed about his value at this moment in time. So as I said, international break is coming up. So if we go down to game week 4, you can see we've got to wait 2 weeks for game week 4, the first game on the 14th of September, which is pretty nice. It gives us time to finalise our NFL teams for those playing NFL Dream Team. Giving myself a little plug for the channel there. Also, I guess, finalising NRL, Supercoach, Fantasy, those sort of games. So I know this week I was very little attention on the side of Premier League, but, can start looking at this a little bit closer. So I guess with the 2 weeks, there is a couple of different strategies. Some people like to actually use the wild card at this point, and what we're doing is using that wild card to chase some value. So as players gain in price, we can sort of, take advantage of that. They rise in price, and then we can, get the next person who's rising in price and doing that sort of thing. The price rises aren't as sort of valuable as they are in Supercoach and those other sort of games where the big thing with Premier League FPL is that you only get to keep half the profit. So, for example, if you've got Mo Salah, who's currently he's gone up to 12.6, but if he went from 12.5 all the way up to 13 million, for example, and then you sold him, you wouldn't get to keep that extra zero point 0.5 profit. You would only get the zero point 0.2 profit. So if you sold him for 13, you'd only get it as though you sold him for 12.7. And I guess what it stops is the players, churning through trades to generate ridiculous squad values. So you do have to be a bit more tactical with the trades, and particularly if you bring someone in that goes up a lot in value, you can lose quite a bit of that value if you trade them out because you would have to then trade them back in at the elevated price. So it does keep a bit of a dampener on the team values, but you can definitely use it to your advantage. So yeah, so that's one strategy we can look at with the transfer window. And because of that, I decided to actually get in on Sunday morning because game week locks out before the first game. And I already made some trades for game week 4. So you can see we've got a little bit of money actually left over, 0.3 in the budget, which is always handy. If you miss the boat on those price rises, it costs an extra 0.1. That's cool. We can afford that. So we've got Sells and Lumley still in goal. In fact, I don't think my defence has changed at all. But where the changes have occurred are in the front 7 or 8, I suppose. And I guess the obvious name that jumps out is one Erling Haaland. So another hat-trick on the weekend. So I've missed out on 34 points. I guess if you triple captained him last week, that's 68 points. Captained him this week. I had Salah, so I didn't miss out on any points there. So I had bit the bullet, had to bring him in. And so I guess, I started with Saka and Son, but as I talked about, their fixtures sort of get a bit uglier. Tottenham and Man City in the next 2 for Sacco. And for Son, they've obviously got Arsenal next week. After that, it's not too bad, actually, but I guess, something had to give. I think it's either, I started with Haaland, without Haaland, because I could have those two. But I think, Haaland's just proving that he is invaluable and you've got to pay what you've got to pay to get him in. So Muniz was the obvious out. If could have gone Isak and then, I might have been able to keep one of the other big hitters. But, I just see basically this is going to be the front 7. So, Haaland, Isak, and then Salah, Eze I'm happy with. Even though he's dropped in price, he'll come back. But obviously to fund Haaland, I brought in Onana and Smith Rowe. So Smith Rowe already jumped up in price a little bit. It is what it is. But Onana at 5 mil, he's started off pretty well. So 2 goals in the first 3 game weeks. So I sort of thought I'd get on him. He's got a nice run coming up. I think, he has jumped up to 5.1. So obviously the 5 mil here represents this is what I would get if I sold him. So he has lifted in value since I've bought him. So that was why I went so early. And part of the reason why I'm jumping on this video is, if you want to transfer, you've got like definite plans to do it earlier rather than later because prices will rise over the next 2 weeks. And it might cost you being able to get that, Haaland, or if you need to get Salah, get Salah. If you want to get one of the other guys, getting one of the other guys. So I had 3 transfers banked up, so I used all 3 to make that happen. I guess if I went the wild card, I probably would have, also downgraded Guardiola. So, get another 4.5. That's extra $1.5 million. I could have done a bit more, 6.5. There's some nice options in the midfield. Although a couple of good ones like Maduki, I think, I don't know how you say that one actually. He's jumped up to 6.6. Matoma, It looks good at Brighton. There's probably some more value if you dig a bit deeper, but again, been a bit distracted with other fantasy sports this week, so good opportunity, just to reset and reassess. And yeah, so I went the 3 transfers this week. I do like the banking the extra transfers. It's really nice. Excuse me, the way that's worked out. And then I guess with a view to, if I have to make some trades in the next sort of month, I can. But then there's another international break after game week 7. So this could be potentially the time we look at wildcarding. Although again, given that there's another, 4 game weeks, I think it is. We might even be able to bank 3 or 4 transfers. So it could be just another little mini wild card like we've got here, like a restructure. Guardiola down, midfielders up and down as need be. We might need to start getting a bit of depth through our bench, that sort of stuff. So, that could be the play. But probably leaning towards wild carding then. And then, just trying to keep some transfers in reserve as much as possible might be the way to go. I just realised I forgot the leagues, the all-important head-to-head league, so apologies for that. Too busy talking about myself. But I did get the win over Guns N' Roses. I haven't actually looked at any of these yet. So Shoab with a 70 this week. So I'm pretty sure that's 0 and 3 for Shoab, but things will get better. I guarantee it. But I guess, had Salah but not Captain Watkins. So that might have been the difference in the end. What was that? 12 points. I think you would have got me. So, yeah, very close anyway. Can't quite pick where the difference would be. Yeah, I guess Watkins with 5 points probably would have beaten whoever I had. Son with 3. So yeah, so it would have been the difference maker there. But I guess around the grounds, Shano's Guns top score this week with 87. So I think we're going to see some Haaland captaincy and Salah combos. So well done, Shano. Killing it. Sitting about 500,000th overall too, which is nice to see. If I look at the ladder, I think we can see the total points too, can't we? But Lam Source with an 86. Again, another Haaland Salah owner. So looks like the way to go. Had Eze and Isak as well, which is really nice. So yeah, I think big at the front, cheap at the back is the way to go. The balanced approach hasn't quite done it for me. And then in the last one, Havertz got a clue, getting a nice win with 70. So captained Haaland, but doesn't have Salah, so that's fine. And I guess what that means for the league, I can see I'm sitting 4th. But Shano's Guns and Havertz got a clue, still both 3 and 0. It looks like on overall points, Ryan still sitting on top, even though only 1 head-to-head win. So it can't go like that. Sitting in the 129,000. So fantastic work there. Again, another Salah Haaland owner. Chris Wood scoring is nice. So maybe Van der Ven just costing you there. Because I think the head-to-head was close now that I think about it. Hang on, what's happened there? Clicked the wrong one. That's what's happened there. Oh yeah, so playing against Shano's Gun, so that 10 points difference there. But yeah, well done to everyone that's involved. So, as I said, we'll have another video for the game week 4 preview towards the end of next week. But just wanted to jump on real quick and discuss the international break, and if you've got transfer plans, lock them in early to try and preserve value. But obviously, injuries and stuff can occur, so do keep an eye out for that as well over the next 2 weeks. So, in saying that, thank you very much for getting on the video. If you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to get them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the FPL content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content. We've now got Supercoach for NBL has started, and we'll get some stuff around that going. But other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.